Independent National Electoral Commission INEC last week met with the two warring factions of the People's Democratic Party PDP at its headquarters in Abuja with the aim of resolving the leadership crisis rocking the party. This was as a former Senate President and Chairman National Reconciliation Committee of the party before the Ibadan Convention, Dr. Bukola Saraki, said the simmering crisis rocking the PDP would be over in the next few months, adding that the party would overcome its current internal challenges, insisting that the party will not go into extinction. While addressing the factions during the opening ceremony, INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amupiton said the intervention became imperative after a series of conflicting correspondences received from the party. He said the Commission's actions were guided strictly by the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and its internal regulations, assuring the factions of its neutrality. Joining us on the show to discuss the intervention by INEC Chairman and whether this initiative signposts a possible pathway to peace in the party is Amma Ibraham, suspended Abia PDP chapter chairman. Umar Sani, a chieftain of the PDP, will join us as we go on with the conversation. Good morning and most welcome to the morning show, Mr. Ibraham.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to join you this morning, but I must correct something.
Okay.
I am not a suspended chairman.
Okay.
By that meeting, which was called by the leadership of INEC,
yes,
they made it very, very clear,
yes,
that what transpired as Ibadan is not acceptable to INEC.
So you preempted
because
my
it's
first
still
question.
a subject in the courts.
You preempted my first question. I was going to ask you, what is the status of things, starting first of all with your position in the party, whether you're suspended or not, and now to give us the details or perhaps the outcome of what happened at that meeting with the INEC chairman.
As I said earlier, with what happened at that meeting, it is very, very clear that everything that happened at Ibadan has not been recognized by INEC. INEC, as a body saddled with the responsibility of managing the affairs of political parties in Nigeria, have made it very, very clear that for now, that the courts will determine the way forward.
Okay.
So what INEC did on that day was an issuance of a vote of caution to the political parties, to the warring faction. It was not a meeting to endorse. It was a meeting to tell them that in as much as there is a Supreme Court ruling that political party business is an internal affairs of that political party, that being an internal affairs does not necessarily mean that they must act in abeyance, they must act arbitrarily, they must act against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they must act against the electoral law, they must act against INEC guideline, or even act against their own constitution. Because at some point in that meeting, I was in the sideline, at some point in that meeting, I remember Turaki, the acclaimed winner of the Ibadan Convention, presented himself as somebody who was validly elected by the convention. The chairman himself made it very, very clear. You know, himself is also a senior advocate of Nigeria. He made it very, very clear to him that that convention went ahead against the judgment of two federal high courts. Two federal high courts, at the Omotosho court and another court, where the former governor of Jigawa State had approached. So all of them have said, do not continue until a few things are put in order. And then they decided to leverage on the judgment of the Oyo Court. The Oyo Court was not a judgment; it was an ex parte. Order, which was, you know, in ex parte normally, what happened? The other party is does not defend. Somebody just approached the court and said, "I need this to preserve this." Recall before that time, we ourselves have gone to court. And why did we go to court? I wanted to contest for the national vice chairman, South. And I went to the party to get a form. The party refused to give me form. That is number one. Number two, the National Convention is like a political pyramid. It starts from the ward to the local government and then states and then at the National Convention. By the time you go for National Convention, all the delegates have been activated. At the other lower congresses, they have been activated. But we're going for a national convention at a time where over 12 states have not conducted their convention. And we have a letter which is in the public space where the then national chairman, Damago, and the then National Secretary has written to INEC to inform them that congresses will be conducted to this in these states on so and so day, including Southeast. But just 2 days or 3 days to that convention, Damago alone wrote to INEC against the spirit of our constitution, against the spirit of the Electoral Act, informing INEC that congresses will no longer take place in 1, 2, 3 local states. The implication is that if you proceed to a national convention, those states will not have a national delegate. And what you have succeeded to do is to disenfranchise them. And that is not the spirit of a national convention. Because it must be holistic. Everybody, every state must have the right to send their own delegates. And when they went to that national convention, they even started by further dissolving other states, including the so-called Abia state, where I come from, where I'm the chairman. They said they have dissolved and then proceeded. And of course, what the INEC chairman simply did on that day is to tell them, you see, every Arise is regulated by NCC. No organization, we don't live in a banana republic, no organization in the even citizens act, or even while you drive with regulation. You don't just act anyhow. There is no way you can go for a national convention against the judgment where people have said, now you gave out one form to everybody. One form. Even the form which was given to Turaki was actually a form for Damago, who wanted to return himself. But when the Southwest, his people met and they passed a vote of confidence against him and said, we don't want you cannot continue because you are part of the problem. It was at that time that he was forced to hand over that form to other people, including the former governor of Jigawa State. All of them, Sule Lamido, all of them, people were deprived. They were not allowed. And INEC was simply saying, this cannot work. It doesn't work this way.
Okay, that's your point. I mean,
go ahead, please.
Good. So you talked about the court judgment in Oyo, and this is what...
There was no court judgment in Oyo.
No. So the interim orders.
The order, yes.
Yeah, there were 2 interim orders that extended. So as at the time you people got your own, the second judgment came in. And there was another interim order which the PDP said, was countering and giving the fillip for the convention to go on, which came late that day. So there were 2 interim orders. The interim order was extended, actually.
Of course, yes, I agree.
So it is based on that, they said that they have fillip to be able to go on with that process.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And the same court, just a week ago or so, or 10 days ago, rescued itself when they say they have delisted INEC, because as a state high court, they do not have the competence for oversight over a federal agency, that they have rescued themselves. What does that mean? That one of the pillars of the ex parte order have been destroyed by the very courts that established it. And it means that as of today, it does not stand. The court on its own rescued itself.
Which court recused
the court at Oyo. The court at Oyo. Yes, Google it, you see. The court at Oyo rescued itself when it said in an open court that they have delisted INEC.
No, but the matters up for determination after the second interim injunction have not been heard. All the parties summoned have not been heard.
No, it has not been heard, but preparatory to that, the court is available. The court rescued itself.
No, but I'm telling you that it's not been heard. So we've not had a finality of that matter. So if you say preparatory to that and there was another...
No. I am telling you...
And you claim... Hang on a minute, please. You claim the court recused itself. The question is, the matter up for determination at which the Oyo court of Akintola Ladiro extended, the interim order, the finality have not been heard on the matter, just like with the other courts.
No, what happened? When the first order was issued, that order was to expire on a Wednesday, whereas the Congress was coming by that weekend. So every novice of the law was already aware that the court will have no option than to extend the order. That was exactly what they did. They extend the order to enable them have their way, which they did have their way. What I'm telling you, in another court sitting that took place after the convention, The court on its own delisted INEC from that ex parte order because it became very clear to them that they do not have, I am telling you what has happened. You can check, you can verify, that they do not have the power, and indeed, they, as a state high court, they do not have the power to sanction a federal agency.
So the next question I'd like to ask you is, which faction has the bona fide? Turaki or you? Because obviously you are slanted towards the weaker faction. Turaki or you guys?
No, listen. We cannot give credits to those who disobey the law.
No. So,
no, listen.
So are you saying...
we are the mainstream.
But no.
We are the mainstream.
Hang on, I got you there. But you just said that INEC itself, when they met with you guys, did not say that anybody is the mainstream. They said the matter is up in determination for the courts. Isn't it? Is that not what you said here just now?
I said so, but listen.
But why did you now turn a vote fast and you fell for the trick question by saying you are the mainstream?
There is no trick question.
You said the meeting by INEC.
There is no trick.
No, it was a trick question.
There is no trick question. Go ahead.
You said the meeting. You said it just now. Or maybe we can play. I can get the producers to play back to you what you said just now when you started. You said that the meeting was to call both factions and tell them that INEC cannot make a determination that they should respect the fact that the case is in court and it's based on that. So if the case is in court, there should be a status quo. So when I now asked you, who are the bona fide faction? You said you are the one. How can you say you are the bona fide faction when INEC just pointed out to you that the case is still in court?
Yeah. Let me explain myself. I am from Southeast Nigeria. I am driving to Owerri or Aba or even Port Harcourt. I find myself somewhere around Benin, which with INEC, I find myself where the INEC is trying to tell us that this is the condition of the road. You people must do the right thing to get to your station. Or you should sleep overnight here. That does not stop me from knowing where I am going. I know the matter is coming up in appeal court sometime in January.
But it has not been decided.
It has not been decided, but that does not make our lawyers. We have
No. Let me explain it to you. Let me give you your own analogy. You are traveling to Owerri. You are currently at Benin bypass. You are in traffic. All right? 6 hours traffic in Benin bypass. Does it mean you have gotten to Owerri?
But I know I will get to Owerri. I am going to Owerri.
No, but you are not sure. Have you gotten to Owerri?
I have not gotten to Owerri.
When they ask also, if where you are now, if I say send location, what will the location show? Is it not Benin bypass?
It depends on the question. You may ask me, where are you going?
No.
You say the question, that is you. So you may ask me, another person may ask me, where are you? Where is your destination?
No, wait a minute.
Profile may ask, where is your location?
Wait a minute.
Another person may ask me, where is your destination?
So where is your destination?
My destination is Southeast.
Where is your location?
My location is somewhere around Benin.
Very good. Femi, go ahead.
As the road safety person on the desk.
Go ahead, Femi. So you are not yet in Owerri, but you are still in Benin.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. You see, the PDP story is a developing story.
Okay, go ahead.
And in that developing story, every faction have their vision of where they are going.
So once you are in Benin, your faction does not have bona fide until the court determines the case. Sefini Laba. Go ahead, Femi.
Let's just take this conversation in a different direction. Because the point is, as a member of the PDP, clearly, hopefully you sort out this leadership crisis as soon as possible, but really the end goal should be wanting to form a proper opposition to this government. The end goal should be trying to get into power come 2027. And with so much infighting, is there any time, is there any space, is there any desire for you to come together and really put together a rightful opposition at this point? It seems as though there's so much personal interest that's stifling the progression as a group.
The development in the party is very, very unfortunate. We had expected that by now we should have been able to cross this hurdle, self-imposed hurdle, because it was not imposed by anybody. People can accuse APC, people can accuse anybody, but this is a self-imposed hurdle for the PDP by the members of PDP and orchestrated by ego. It's an unfortunate development, and for the party, we have competent personalities like the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki. Even the Damagu-led NWC and the Nwabara-led NWC, as it were at that time, were able to constitute 6 wise men. The former Prince Oyinola and the rest of them, competent personalities, put them together and told them to wade into this crisis and come up with recommendations. These people came up with 10 recommendations. But unfortunately, the very committee, the very people who set them up, jettison, they refuse. And part of this, you see, when people have crisis, even in a family, they must sit down to talk. When they don't sit down to talk, the consequences will be lamentable. Even after the INEC meeting, you saw what happened. When the press approached the two factions, one of the factions said, we were surprised when we came to the meeting, we saw some of our former members, suspended members. The other faction said, we hope that our brothers will come, let's talk and move forward. So, it is our ability to sit down as a political party, to look at issues critically, resolve them.
No, but
that is the only day.
But the wicked faction you are part of is supporting President Tinubu.
Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. In fact, not my words. I'm quoting what was said. And I think people leaning of this PDP faction had even said, and I think there are 2 people from the PDP, not my words, I can't remotely get to that quote. They had even said that Wike had said, quoting them now, that one of the conditions for peace is for them to jettison any idea of having a candidate to run in this election. And he wants President Tinubu. I don't know if that is true or false.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that? Because if Mr. Umar Sani was here, he would reiterate that statement. So if you are saying that, then all of this is not about peace. It's about destruction of the PDP.
Now, going back to your question, or to what you have just explained, you see, I don't want any of us to be victim of a single story. Now, let me say, even if the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has some interest to support the president, it is still a matter to be discussed in a table, in the PDP table, where people will ask him, why do you want this? You don't take it in abeyance. It is still in that table. It's not an aberration. Now, let me tell you something. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Let me come in. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We have presidential democracy. We have parliamentary democracy. In parliamentary democracy, the government is formed after election. Governments are formed after election. After election, if you have 3-4 parties, and then the election have been declared, then some party leaders will come together and decide on how to form government. Maybe a party in a house of 10, maybe a party have 3, my party have 2, your party have 4. So we come and I will say, okay, our party with 7, let us form the government. We agree we form the. That is what I'm betting in a presidential democracy. Government are formed immediately after the election, because without any meeting, like in Nigeria, once you declare a Tinubu a president, you have vested on him the powers to form his government. That is what we see over the years from 1999 to now. Now, my argument is this. Yeah. My argument is this. Even at the worst case scenario, I want to fall in your second trap. I want to fall to your second trap. Even in the worst case scenario, if Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, has come out to say he's supporting Tinubu, it's as simple as, why do you want us to support Tinubu?
Really?
That is the question.
Okay,
really?
so
in the table. No, that is the question in the table.
Okay.
Which people, other party members will ask him in that negotiation table. Okay. That why do you want us to support Tinubu? Okay. Why don't you want us to have our own presidential candidates?
Wait a minute.
Yes, it is in that table.
Wait a minute. I like you so much because you enter my trap. Is that not an anti-party activity? Is that not an aberration
to the loyalty you swore to your party, that you even have the nerve that a man that claims to be a party man is supporting another person?
Well, I will not join issues with you, but let me answer your question.
Yes.
Let me tell you, anti-party is defined
As what?
as when a party member goes behind the door to do something against his party. When I present a position on the table, you understand? We have a coalition, we have an alliance. When, as a party person, I present myself, I did not go behind the party to work against the interests of the party. I come right in the house to tell my wife, we cannot have another child. Because of your health.
We have to go now.
We have
to go now, Mr. Ibraham.
There's nothing wrong about that.
So can I ask you this? It's obvious you and the Wike faction are supporting Tinubu, and you will keep fomenting trouble in the party because you are against
Now,
the
let me also conclude by saying that from the show and what Nigerians have seen,
Yes.
you too, you have some issues with Wike, which I don't know.
Okay,
You understand?
right.
Because
Mr.
in
Abraham.
every show,
Mr.
you are always
Abraham.
calling Wike.
Mr. Abraham.
You as a person,
No, let me-
you
can I
have
comment?
what I don't.
Mr.
There are things
Mr.
which I don't know.
Abraham.
You understand? Because
No,
the
we
whole
have
of this
to- we have
program,
to end this.
the whole of this program are
Abraham.
centered on Wike.
Mr.
It's all about you.
Mr.
You
Abraham.
understand? All about
You
you.
need to
You
go.
did not invite me to speak on Wike.
Mr.
You
Abraham.
invited us to speak on the
Abraham,
debate.
yes.
You have deviated.
No,
Because
Mr.
of
Abraham.
your gross. May God help you people to settle your problem.
Mr. Abraham,
You understand?
Mr. Abraham,
You
thank
understand?
you
May
so
God-
much for coming to the
Thank
show.
you, my dear.
I just want to bring some form of calmness because it's an interview, right? Just be calm. It's an interview. You've expressed your position, and we thank you very much for coming to speak about it. I just think that, I mean, and from what you said and what you described as at the last point, that what the party, the faction has been doing by supporting a candidate that was not the PDP's choice in the last election was anti-party activities, as you have described.
Simple.
Do you understand? Just to mention
You,
about
yes, if you did, I speak French. Listen to me.
Okay, no,
you are
Mr.
free.
Abraham, we need to
You
go.
are free
It's enough.
Okay,
It's
finish.
enough.
believe what you believe.
Okay.
I am free to believe what I believe.
Yes,
Nigeria
absolutely.
does not end with me.
Yes.
It does not end and belong with you.
Yes.
Public opinion does not end with me. Does not end with you.
right.
That is your view.
Absolutely.
You are entitled to
On
it.
that
I'm
note-
entitled to my view.
On that note-
You understand? And I have peace with what I am doing.
Thank you.
Very good.
You understand?
Mr. Abraham, thank you so much
merci
for
beaucoup.
joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we didn't have Mr. Omar Sani join us. I'm sure he would have a different perspective from what you've shared, and we'll definitely.
No, he was represented by
look
Rufai.
He
was represented by Rufai.
That's not true.
Rufai is always there to
That's
represent
not
the
true.
other people.
But we look forward to
Is that
having
not
him
my
on the
job?
show.
Yes,
No, hold on.
to
I'm wrapping
represent
up.
them.
Hold
It's
on,
your
sir.
job.
Thank
I
you
clap
so
for
much,
you,
sir.
because it's your-
Thank
you
you,
have
sir.
also followed
Thank
for
you,
my own
Mr.
craft.
Abraham.
Thank you, sir.
We look forward
Thank
to
you.
having him on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.